Just as the sky is blue and water is wet, the national media jabroni haircuts just love to take a dump. Just an absolute monster. Green Day, Dookie album on Kirk Ezekiel Cousins, quarterback of the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. But it sort of is what it is. We've accepted it. They're never going to love Kirk Cousins. Kirk could win the next 12 Super Bowls in the next 10 seasons all by himself, playing 1 versus 11. They'd still be like, not as good as Derek Carr. Aye, right. But enter Chris Sims. So Sims has, I do love and respect Sims. I like that he does the work. He has his own opinion, and it doesn't always mesh with the talking points around the national media. And he's not afraid to go out on a limb and stand by his opinion. And Chris Sims, a former quarterback at the University of Texas, son of Phil Sims, Philly, as well as, of course, he played in the league for a hot second, right? So his opinion on quarterbacks is legit, right? And also, important to note, Chris Sims in his 2021 NFL Draft quarterback rankings, Kellen Mond above Justin Fields, taken the first round by the crooked Chicago Bears, as well as Trey Lance, the pride of Marshall, Minnesota, who was not offered by the Gophers. Not that I'm still bitter. Who ended up being the number 3 overall pick by the Niners, could be their starter this year. So things that make you go, just a little bit. But Chris Sims is doing his annual offseason hashtag content, the top 40 quarterbacks in the National Football League, and Kirk Ezekiel Cousins unfortunately clocked in at number 16. Now, he clocked in at number 16 last season, so at least he's consistent. But he had some choice quotes about Kirk, and we'll dive into it. That's not the right slide. There you go. So why don't you slide? Wrong slide again. So talk about Kirk Cousins. We're talking about the ultimate system quarterback, a guy that if the system is really good and creative and you give him and teach him answers and checks and balances, he will take advantage of every effing bit of it. So the last couple years, he's been in the Kubiak adjacent offense. Gary Kubiak was his OC in 2020. Last year was Clint Kubiak. 2019, it was Kevin Stefanski, who with Gary Kubiak as an overseer, as the senior offensive assistant, whatever the hell his title was, right? So, I mean, Gary Kubiak can say a lot of things. Creative on offense, Nah, not really that. Or it's like, ooh, last year Justin Jefferson lined up in the backfield. Great, right. So Kirk Cousins hasn't been in that flashy type of offense, even though he would succeed in it. Enter Kevin O'Connell, and props. Chris Sim talked about how Kevin O'Connell coming in, it's the first time that Kirk Cousins in Minnesota has had an offensive-minded head coach. They've worked in Washington before, and then he talked about how that Rams offense with Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl. Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips were kind of a big part of it, even though Sean McVay, a little Ed Sheeran lookalike, gets all the attention. Sims continued on in Kirk Cousins. His ability that also makes him special or really damn good is that there's no hesitation in his game when he sees and knows what he's looking at. His ability to read and react and pull the trigger and throw, he's up there with the best in the NFL. And that does sync up with what Vikings fans have seen. Whenever Kirk Cousins, A, B, C, everything is on schedule, Kirk can be one of the best quarterbacks in the game. The problem is when things break down, where he has to improvise, where he has to go off script, where he maybe has to go to a guy who wasn't even in the progression. Like Kirk is really good, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But if you have to go 4, 5, 6, or if he has to go, Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger, Cam Newton, schoolyard football, just draw it up in Michael Vick, draw up in the dirt, and then go get it. Or some of that Brett Favre was so fantastic at. It's not so good. We've made this analogy before. Like Kirk Cousins would be a great orchestra musician, where you got a conductor telling him what to do. You have sheet music. This is what I need to do at this exact time. I am very good following the rules. Follow the rules. He would be horrible at jazz. Like, scoot, scotty, skid down. I never know how to react when a man jazz scats in my face, but I don't think that's the line. Anyway, but yeah, Kirk, when he has to improvise, not so good. And the problem with the Vikings offense the last couple seasons when he's been here is the interior offensive line. And also, to a degree, the tackles before O'Neal really came into his own and before Darisaw is rising up as well. So he hasn't been able to have everything. Everything is in its place. I bet you Kirk Cousins is OCD. I bet you if you take a look, say he had a dinner plate of like really well done steak kidneys or whatever the hell that was on his grill at one time, and then peas and you got some mashed potatoes. Like everything is gonna be separated. All the peas will be in a row, and everything will be like meat, starch, veg. Meat, starch, veg. That's what it'll be. Absolutely what it'll be. What are we talking about? Oh, Sims continued on. Kirk's not going to be the guy that's going to go, hey, we're an 8-8 football team. Don't worry, I'm the man. We'll go 10-6 because I'll pull a few rabbits out of my ass and a few magic tricks, and we'll make it work this week. So this is what I've never really understood. So all the national media, Jerome Haircuts, and Chris Sims and his podcast partner for the show, like they harped on, well, Kirk Cousins, he's only won one playoff game. He's a 500 quarterback, yada, 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 yada. But then they talk about how his supporting cast hasn't been that good. Right, so which is it? Is a quarterback, is QB wins a quarterback stat, or is it an indicator? Or is it the team around him, or are you putting everything on Kirk Cousins? Because we've said Kirk Cousins is not going to be a guy that you win a Super Bowl because of, but you can win a Super Bowl with. And that is not a backhanded compliment, because you cannot say that about every single quarterback in the league. Like, there's some quarterbacks out there, like Drew Lock. You could put Drew Lock on the 85 Bears with the 98 Vikings offense. All right, so 98 Vikings offense and the 85 Bears defense, and Drew Lock is your quarterback. I don't know if you win a Super Bowl. I don't know. You be competitive till you have to win a game. I don't know. But with Kirk Cousins, again, with the offensive line good to go, Jefferson and Thielen going crazy, Dalvin being a dynamic weapon, and then Kevin O'Connell calling the shots, things are pretty good. This is obviously the best situation that Kirk Cousins has been in his 5 seasons here with the Vikings. Absolutely not. And they also remarked how Kirk has a good arm. He's accurate. He's not going to hold the team back, but also he's not going to take the team to the next level. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. And looking at his remaining rankings, so we know who's ahead of him, right? And I have a beef with a couple. So obviously I have to abstain from Aaron Rodgers. I can't say one way or the other. F him right in the face. I was like, Packers fans think that, we're going to get better because we got rid of Devontae Adams and replacing him with a rookie from a D2 school, as well as Romeo Dubes and Sammy Watkins. Get out of here. All the way out of here. All right, so you got Brady, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russ, Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow. I fully agree that those quarterbacks are better than Kirk Cousins. And then you got Stafford. Again, Stafford minus the Super Bowl run, it's Spider-Man pointing meme. They're basically the same quarterback, right? So, whatever. I'll give respect to Stafford. Won the Super Bowl. Go ahead. What about Dak? What about Derek Carr? Right? So, what about Kyler to a degree too? Even though Kyler, he's my guy, do they make the team better? Can they win on their own? Everything that is said about Kirk Cousins, can't you say the same thing about Dak Prescott? And Dak has had a better supporting cast, not weapons-wise, but offensive line-wise. Right? So, and he nominally has an offensive head coach in Mike McCarthy, which, okay. So Derek Carr is rated ahead of Kirk Cousins. No. Kyler, maybe in a couple years, but right now Kyler's way too inconsistent. Also, the interesting one is Lamar Jackson, where I have a lot of respect for Lamar Jackson in the regular season. Sure, he's absolutely dynamic. He's something that we've rarely seen at the quarterback position, and his arm is fine. But I just feel like he struggles to get it done in the clutch, right? It just I don't know. But personal opinion, I like Lamar Jackson. I just, if you're going into a season and you're eyeing to try and win a Super Bowl, I would take Kirk Cousins over Lamar Jackson. I would take him over Dak. I would take him over Derek Carr. I would take him over Kyler, and that's just me. Right, I would take him over the corpse of Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is getting by on inertia and previous history. How is Tannehill above Kirk Cousins? I don't get it. Did we not see the playoff games? Like, we talk about Kirk Cousins like, he's not going to hold the team back. Ryan Tannehill held that team back. He held it hostage. He threw it underneath the bus. It was horrible. Do we forget that playoff game? It's just Deshaun Watson. I don't know, man. I don't know. You have to be not suspended to make the list. I feel like that should be a thing. I think there's a legit chance that Deshaun Watson misses this season, but whatever there. But again, the 12 that are to be revealed: Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russ, Herbert, Burrow, Stafford, Dak, Derek Carr, Kyler, Lamar Jackson. Meh. Fair. So like we said, I would put Kirk in the top 10, either 9 or 10, somewhere in there, because I would put him above Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Deshaun Watson right now, yes, Dak, Derek Carr, Kyler, and Lamar Jackson. So that'll put him in 9-10, depending how you see Stafford. I would still put him above Stafford, but it's hard to go up against that Super Bowl ring. So sort of it is what it is there. But your thoughts? Chris Sims puts Kirk Cousins at number 16 in his top 40 quarterback rankings. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.